Jasmine, just first off, how does it feel? You guys have known you've been going to the NCAA tournament, but now it's official. You're playing Texas A&M. How does it feel just to be headed back?
Man, it feels great. We've been going through practice. We've been so excited for practice almost every single day. We're just excited to get ready to start playing. Where everybody's locked in. We're bought into the game plan, and we're just ready for whatever the coaches have for us.
Hey, Jasmine. I mean, I think this run has been so interesting compared to last season, where you guys were, coming into the tournament of the Sun Belt tournament, and then obviously everything shut down. Obviously, every game is its own game, right? But before, as you guys are kind of celebrating the championship win, were you thinking back to last year, how you guys didn't get that opportunity at all, and you guys had finally made it there and finally achieved that goal?
Yeah, it feels amazing. We were cut short last year. That hurt us tremendously, but that's what helped us push so hard this year because we wanted to get back right in the situation and do things that we haven't done before.
And obviously, every year, every team's unique and different, right? And it has its own strengths. But what has made this group special that you guys are able to make it this far?
This group is just so special because it's definitely our chemistry that we have together. It's not just on the floor chemistry, but off the floor chemistry, and that's what's the most important thing. And that's what I feel like helps us play so well together. And then, of course, we rebound. That's what we do, rebound and score.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned that. And I guess what about kind of the way coach is able to kind of teach you guys kind of the core tenets of her program, allows you guys all to learn it, top down throughout the program, and then, teach it to the next generation and improve on it by the time you're the senior?
Well, definitely, I'll just speak for me and Janai Sandifer because we've been here all 4 years. Coach Rigby and all of the coaches, they do a great job of explaining exactly what they want to be done. And then, throughout the years, we'll watch film and different things like that, and they'll just sit down and break it down with us. This is how I want it done. This is how I want you to do it. And then as the years go by, we understand that, and then we're able to teach it to the younger kids and maybe put it in different words that the coaches may not have said.
Now, no, obviously, you may not know a whole lot about Texas A&M just yet because you haven't watched film or anything. But historically speaking, what do you know about them, and how tough of a matchup is this going to be for you guys?
It's definitely going to be a tough matchup. Any game that, we knew any game that we were going to, it was going to be tough. But definitely, I know they're big on size. They're definitely big on size in their guard play. But one of the most important things is that we can control what we can control. Just do the things that we do, and it'll help us.
Coach Rigby's always been known to embrace this underdog type role and everything. So how are you guys going to use that mentality heading into this first round matchup?
Definitely. Of course, we feel like people, they don't want to see us win. They count us out before the game even gets tipped off. So definitely we're going in here head first. We're strong. These girls tie their shoes up the same way we do. We're just going out ready to play.
Alexus, I asked Jasmine the same question. You guys have known you've been going to the NCAA tournament for a while now, but now that you have that opponent set, just how does it feel to be going back?
Well, this will be my first time this year, and it feels exciting because from day one, since we first started, this is where I wanted to be, and this is where I wanted to help lead my team to. So it feels great to be a part of something that's gonna be historically, good for our school, help our school.
With the way the season ended last year, is this, more of a validation, a weight lifted off the shoulder for the way things went last year that you guys are able to make it back here to this point this year?
Yeah, it's definitely a weight lifted off our shoulders because we worked so hard to get back to where we were supposed to go. And, it just makes us proud of ourselves knowing that we put in the hard work and dedication to get back to where we were when they cut it short for us.
Alexus, as a senior leader, does it help that you have some experience playing at the national level that you can kind of maybe give some advice to your fellow teammates?
Well, the only national level I played in is JUCO so far. This will be probably my first time in D1. Nationally, I just feel like everyone should bring their A game. Everyone should bring their A game and leave it on the court. Every single thing, play like it's your last game and just have fun. When you have fun, everything kind of follows.
I guess, like, do you think you guys are gonna have any motivation from the fact that you are a 15 seed and you got matched up against, one of the top 8 teams, I guess, technically?
Yeah, we're very motivated. Like we don't let none of that bother us. We do what we do so we can, win.
How has coach kind of been able to keep that motivation or keep that kind of pressure from you guys to kind of make sure you're performing no matter, how many wins you guys get in the regular season, even if it's a program record or, you guys go down to Pensacola and you win the Sun Belt. I guess, how is she able to keep motivating you guys throughout the year?
It's just like, if it's like all over, like she don't want to she don't want us to regret anything. Like she want us to just play our all, like every single day, like, because once you know you're gonna give your all in something, like you'll go back and regret it, and she really don't want us regretting anything. So
what's been your favorite moment kind of as you look back at the last year from you guys, making it to the Sun Belt tournament and that getting canceled, not being able to go to the NCAA, and then, making that run this season?
My favorite moment this year?
Yeah, from the past, crazy 12 months.
My favorite moment was the tournament, winning another ring. I just seen all those exciting faces, especially for the freshmen. It's their first year here, and they won their first ring here with us because of our team leadership and our seniors and stuff. It just feels great, and to see all the happy faces, especially our coaches and stuff, because they always motivated us and pushed us to be back where we are. So
I know you haven't watched film or anything on Texas A&M just yet, but what do you know about them historically, and how tough of a matchup is this going to be for y'all?
I know that it's going to be a tough game, actually a good, very interesting game to play. I know that we are number 1 in rebounding, and they're like number 50 or something. And I just know we have to, box out, because they have height over us, so we just have to box out and rebound and do what we do, because that's what helps us win games. So.
Alexus, talk a little bit about tonight and the selection show and all the partying and the dancing. How excited was it to be able to see your name and be there with your teammates and just have that party atmosphere?
It was fun for my first experience. It was very new. I didn't think we was gonna be on TV or nothing like that, but it was fun.
Just keep it simple. How's it feel, Chanda?
It feels amazing. We're so blessed to be in this position, to be healthy enough to be here, to have won enough to be here. It's brand new to us hearing that we're going to play Texas A&M. I really thought they were going to be a 1 seed. I'm sure they probably thought that as well. The net, everything's new this year with the net. If you look at the RPI, we could have been a 12 seed with an RPI, but the net, this is the first year we've gone to that. It changes things, and it moves our numbers in the way we didn't want to move it. So anyway, it's a surprise totally that we would be playing Texas A&M. So I don't have a whole lot to say on them, except we haven't done a lot of research on them, except the team in their conference that we play the most like is Arkansas. We run the same fast break. We strive for a lot of the same things. And if I'm not wrong, I think Arkansas only lost to them by 1 point the first time they played them, and they lost to them by 2 points most recently. So, I don't know if that's a comparison or if that's a fair thing to say, but we know that they're going to be a very tough opponent, very good. You don't win the SEC championship without being really good. But hey, we won the Sun Belt championship, so we've got some things going for us as well. And we're best when we're the underdog. We're at our best when we're fighting like underdogs. So I'm excited.
Coach, you've been going to the tournament for a while, but just what was that moment like when you see that Troy flash across the screen and it's actually official that you're heading back, especially with what happened last year?
Yeah, so it's a long time dream of ours, we want to put Troy on a national stage through women's basketball at Troy. So when it first came up, the Power T came up when they announced the teams that were set to go, and we saw that the Power T was up there. So that was our first big cheer that we gave in the show, and then later when they called us out. But it feels great. We're so proud to have that Power T up there. in the group of the 64 that will be at the tournament.
And so,
What
hey,
kind of
Jeff,
lessons do you think you can give the team from the past? Chanda, 'cause obviously you've been there. Talk a little bit about what you hope the team will be able to, you'll be able to share with them about being there, that national stage.
Well, that's a good question. So tomorrow morning before we leave, we have one final practice in Trojan Arena. It'll be brief. It'll be really early tomorrow morning. And those are the kind of things that I'll be thinking on to talk with the team about. I just know that every year that we've gone, we've learned things that we didn't know before. We played the 2 times that we've gone before, we played championship teams. They made it all the way to the Final Four and into the championship round. So we've drawn about the toughest teams that you could draw first, and we did learn a lot. We used to tell our team block out. We thought we were pretty good rebounders doing that, but you can no longer block out when you get the NCAA tournament. You have to shove out. You can't bump the cutter. You have to use your whole body and hit the cutter coming across the lane. Everything has stepped up several notches. And I'd say that's the big advantage that Texas A&M has over us is they play Power 5 every night. I mean, so night in and night out, they're used to those adjustments. And that's one of the main things that puts us at an underdog. But again, you know, that's how we like to fight, is from the underdog position.
when you look at your path to Troy, and I think it's kind of neat how you guys ended up winning the Sun Belt in Pensacola. That's kind of an era you had your coaching start to kind of take you back to that a little bit. How cool was kind of to have that experience in a place with some memories for you?
Well, it was amazing. I felt like I was back home, and so many memories and so many building blocks of who I've become as a coach were laid right there in the foundation in Pensacola. So being back there to win that championship was special. And after the championship, when the confetti was coming down, one of the first people I looked up and saw was the president of Pensacola State College. I had no idea he was going to be there. And then our pastor from Olive Church was there. So, I mean, I just looked around in that moment when I could finally breathe and just realize how many people were there supporting me from not being in Pensacola 9 years ago.
And I guess how special is that coming a year after, you guys are going into the SBC tournament, kind of one season, and then, everything shut down. So how was it kind of had to have that moment, not only after the season, but the past 12 months of what you guys have gone through?
Well, I mean, it's very special. It's like, yeah, it's been kind of pent up for a while. And I'm just so thankful we were able, after skipping last year, that due to COVID, I'm just so glad we were able to kind of like finish what we had started. That group of 5 seniors from last year did not get to experience all this with us, but they paved the way for us to make this happen. And I'm really glad we were able to finish on it.
And Chanda, you mentioned COVID there, and obviously you've been fighting COVID all season, but this is a time where it seems like it's getting, even more focused on making sure the team stays healthy. Talk about what y'all are gonna have to go through for COVID protocol, because I know you're getting out there early and there's some quarantining involved. Kind of gives an idea of what you're gonna have to go through between now and Monday.
Okay, so ever since the season has started, the week before the season started, we've been having to test 3 times a week. So, we get the infamous swab up the nose, both nostrils, 3 times a week. And then after we won the Sun Belt Championship, as per NCAA tournament protocols, we had to test the 7 days in a row. So it's pretty much a blessing and a miracle within itself that we all, with that many tests, we all have tested negative that many times. And so today was our last test here. Tomorrow, which means we can all get on the plane tomorrow. And we get on the plane tomorrow. One of the first things we do when we get there is we get tested. We start the testing there. We'll get tested every day there. And I think we have to get 2 or 3 positive days of test to be able to leave our room. So we all will have our individual room. Even the bus we leave, we won't ride on one bus to the airport tomorrow. We have to ride on 2 buses because there has to be a seat in between each person. So it's so many different protocols. We have 3 hours from the time they announced that what day we were playing at the selection show and who we were playing. We have 3 hours to get in our food orders. So we have to order all of our food orders at least for the next 3 days because we can't leave our rooms while we're quarantining. They will bring them, but we didn't know who to order them from until you know which seed you are and which hotel you're in. So the rest of my staff, I think, is down there working on that and getting the orders from all of our players and staff. We have 22 people in our bubble that have tested every time with us. And we'll go out and quarantine there. I think the maximum you can have on this trip is 35. We chose to keep our bubble really, really small and only take the absolute essential people because we didn't want the chance of to be broadened of anybody testing positive and knocking us out of the tournament.
And talk, Chanda, if you don't mind, talk about tonight, because obviously with COVID, did you think you're going to be able to have a watch party and have the fans there and have everyone involved? So what was it like to be able to have this pep rally type moment to celebrate your team?
We're so thankful for our administration at Troy. They want to keep us safe and they're fighting to keep us safe, but they also wanted our players to have this moment. And I'm so thankful. So we kind of had the best of both worlds. They really took a lot of precautions and kept us, the 22 that are in our bubble, away from everyone. We were down on the floor. We had our own entrance way. And then we just kind of waved at the people in the stands. We were nowhere close to them. So it's kind of strange, you know, from our parents to my husband was up in the stands, but, you know, we don't cross and they don't come down and we don't go up. You know, it's just kind of staying in our bubble, doing everything we can to stay COVID free so we can compete with a Troy across our jersey in the national stage of the NCAA tournament.
Well, that was good and technical there, but I want to know how you felt seeing the name up there and the girls dancing and having a good.
It makes a lot of things worth it. You know, it was a joyful celebration. It's funny because the teams they announced before us, a lot of them, even the commentators had commented, they were kind of sitting in their seats and maybe one or two teams kind of jumped up and clapped. I knew when they called Troy, it was going to be a different story, and it really was. Everybody was out of their seat dancing and clapping and just joyful. To see that in the team makes a lot of things really worth it. Just the joy that the team is getting to experience. I'm very thankful for it.
Coach, I don't want to take anything away from the NCAA tournament or any focus off that, but I've talked with Coach Brown when he was at Troy about this before. Obviously, when you have this kind of success at a mid-major program, you know, your name starts getting mentioned for bigger jobs and everything out there. How do you handle that? And how do you keep your focus on we're in the NCAA tournament? I'm not even worried about if my name gets brought up for other positions.
Yeah. The only reason I would even consider any attention on that is because that I've lost 2 recruits in the last week because of that. Like one of my recruits' fathers told me that he didn't want to send his daughter where he felt like the coaching staff would leave because they were winning. And so I'm just saying that's the only reason I would give any credence to it. And I am not even in the mix for some of these jobs that I'm rumored to be in because I wanted to know. I tried to find out today just so I could kill the claims, and I'm killing the claims. I'm not in some of these. I'm not in the mix for some of these big jobs that people think that I am. And all I want to do is just focus on. We're finally at our moment that we worked so hard for, and we were put off last year of getting to do this. You know, that our chance of getting to do this. So we're finally at this moment, and all I want to do is say, you know, all of our hearts and souls and minds and energy is in representing Troy the best we can. This is the school we love. And, you know, I don't want anybody to be distracted with any of that. And this is where I am, is at Troy. And this is what we're doing is going out to take on a very big feat of beating the SEC championship team, Texas A&M. It's going to take all of our focus and energy. And that's what we're putting it on.
What does it say kind of about your tenure, what you've been able to build at Troy, that now, I think 9 years in, you know, you're having a recruit's parent tell you like, hey, we think you're going to leave because like how crazy is that? Obviously, like, it's just a rumor, right? But
Right.
that probably means something that you guys, you know, in standing, your coaching staff is being viewed as something that's built something at Troy.
Well, it's flattering. It's flattering, and I'm thankful and I'm grateful. It's humbling when you reel off the fact that this is our 4th championship in 6 years, and all that this team has accomplished. It's humbling. I'm just grateful to be a part of it. In many ways, you know, I guess that's what being humble is. You don't feel deserving for all the good that's come. There's so many other good coaches that I coach against that are not getting this opportunity. And so I'm just thankful to be here, and I want to enjoy the moment.
This, you may have answered this in the previous Zoom call this season. What are those trophies and nets behind you? Are those SBC championships, or what are
Those are the 4 we've won since we've been here. The one without the net, I need to bring the net and put it. That's our most recent one.
Okay.
So yep, we are very thankful because there were only 3 on that shelf as of 2 weeks ago, and we were coming in here every day and looking at it and hoping and praying and wishing and thinking and conniving and trying to find a way to put a fourth one on there. So we're really glad that that shelf it looks good now.
Chanda, I've talked to you many times in the past. You talked about being a goal-oriented team and how you set the goals and you set the goals and the next step and the next step. So now that you got to this step, what's the goal? What's the goal? We know what the goal is, but what is your goal? What's the team's goal? What's your focus at this point?
Is to make a run in the NCAA tournament. You know, if you rolled it back, I said that even when I got hired here 9 years ago, I said we wanted to put Troy on a national stage by winning Sun Belt Conference championship and making a run in the NCAA tournament. So we really were feeling like last year we would probably have gone in as a 12 seed, and with the team we had a great chance to do that. Right now it's still settling in, sinking in of who we're playing, and you know, we got the 15th seed, and you know, we've got to figure out the best way to put ourselves in a successful position to do that, because that's been the goal from day one, and it's been a long climb, and a lot of times it's been 2 steps forward, 1 step back, but still every step forward has gotten us closer to this, and who knows if we weren't created for a time such as this to go make a run this year.